Fox 10 Gulfstream. This is Next Weather.
All right, well, it's our last edition of our new show, Next Weather, here in 2023. And we're taking a look back at the weather events that influence things. Here's a look at meteorologist Nicholas Turboso's report.
With 2023 coming to an end, let's look back at some of the events that impacted our weather this year, as shown by this special graph. The climate summary graph you see here is produced by the National Weather Service and updated daily. This graph displays basic weather trends such as temperature and rainfall. On the top side of the graph, you can see the daily temperatures plotted through the year along with the average and record temperatures. And on the bottom, you can see the rainfall observed with the average rainfall. This is a complex graph, so if you want to explore it further, you can go to weather.gov, the National Weather Service website. You can find it there. There is the link that you have on your screen. Here we will use the graph to examine a handful of weather events this year. We're going to start with the temperature section. The legend for this is in the corner. Each gray bar represents the daily high temperature at the top of the bar and then the low temperature at the bottom of the bar. Those are the gray bars. The green area indicates temperature near the average. So if the gray bars are in that green area, consider it average. Then if the bars are in the blue area, below average, and the red area, above average. And if that bar extends beyond the colored area, it represents a record temperature. So before we even start, you can see that in the middle of the graph, the summer was kind of up there. But first, let's start in the beginning. We had a period of above average temperatures in the end of February and early March. That's our 7-day outlook with temperatures in the 80s, close to record highs. Now, after this period, we did go down back to average in the green for a little bit, but then we jumped back up. April 1st, we had a record high at Mobile Regional Airport of 87 degrees. You can see our graphic there that we had. Then after that, once again, we went into the green there. You see all those gray bars pretty much in the green from April, May, June. And then late June happened where we got into the triple digits. Look at the heat index in the triple digits there. We had this summer heat wave where a large period of our summer was above average. The June event, of course, got up there, but then we had the heat dome that happened in late July and August. And this was a problem. It caused above average temperatures pretty much through the month. And in fact, some days we got really far up there. When I think back to forecasting this event, it was kind of crazy how we were doing our 7-day outlooks and having to put triple digits day after day after day. In fact, here's one of those 7-day high temperature graphics that we showed in August, and you can see how we were in the triple digits. In fact, August 26th, we hit an all-time record high, set it in Mobile. That was 106 degrees, beat the record of 105 that was set in 2000. Then we finally fell back to average, and at the end of this graph, you can actually see the up and down of those gray bars. That is when we get into the cold front season. During the summer, we typically see more steady temperatures. In fact, if you look at the graph, the middle of the graph is relatively steady. There's not those waves. But as the highlighted ends here you see in blue, that's where we had those cold fronts. So we see a lot more wild temperature swings in our spring and winter seasons and getting into late fall as well. But the summertime is typically more steady across the Gulf Coast. So some interesting things that you can see from this graph. Now let's head to the precipitation graph. This graph is a lot easier to read. The green is, of course, the precipitation day by day, and the line is the average. This first event that we had, a little bump in April, rainfall event around April 15th, but then June happened, and June was a significant event, a couple rainfall events back to back that we saw. We had multiple flash floods emergencies, including the one in Pensacola that had the tornado as well, and then one in southern Mobile County that included the Moss Point tornado. Those are our social media posts from that event. This caused a big jump in our rainfall totals, but we were already kind of lagging behind in the year. As you can see, we stop the rainfall totals here in August. The heat dome stops the rain altogether and we go well below average. That lasts through September, October, and by the time we got to November, the drought monitor was not good. We were in a level 4 extreme drought. Then recently here in December, we did get a beneficial rain, but it did not help us out. We are ending 2023 in a rainfall deficit. So that's the precipitation graph, and that's the summary of 2023, our weather events and how they compared to our climatological average here. So we end the year in a rainfall deficit. We had a really hot summer. How will 2024 compare? Only time will tell. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso.
That's definitely a deep dive there, and if you liked it, you're not alone. I like that too. Good information, and that 106 was an all-time record. It's the hottest it's ever been in the history of weather at Mobile Regional Airport, so it was extraordinary. Checking out your extended forecast, Monday, a 40% chance of showers. That is New Year's Day. A bigger rain moves in on Wednesday. Rain chance at 70%. Temperatures in the 50s, overnight lows in the 30s. Thanks for joining us here on Next Weather.